All right, my friends, welcome to episode 362 of Prof and Dev Play Games. My name is Larry. I am the professor. Over there is Anthony, the dev. He makes video games for a living. And we finally got. COVID has hit our family. As this podcast feels like a fucking pandemic time capsule for me in some ways.
It's true.
Because fucking half the time we've been doing this podcast has been during the pandemic. I think.
Oh, God.
You know? So yeah, my wife has COVID. Not exactly sure how or where, but it happened. And my daughter and I are currently negative. So I'm on full-time parent mode and taking care of my sequestered wife.
Yeah. I feel like it might have been easier if you just all had gotten it.
Yeah.
In some ways of just being like, fine, we all have it. There's no worrying about, trying to we still have to live all in the same house in some way and make this work.
Yeah, I'm sure my wife is going stir crazy. It's working out for my daughter and I because we're just playing.
That's true.
We got
like,
the whole
all right,
every rest of the house. We're just playing and having a good old time. We'll talk a lot about that today on this video game podcast. But no, I'd still prefer not having it. So I'm gonna stick to that. Although we'll see in 2 days, 3 days if I end up testing positive. This week we're just gonna talk about what we've been playing because my brain can't really process anything else. I'm sure there's probably some news, but yeah. So why don't we start with something you've been playing? Maybe we'll go back and forth.
It hasn't really changed a whole lot from last week, but let's start with Marvel Snap because I've been playing a bunch of Marvel Snap, and I'm sure you've been playing a bunch of Marvel Snap as you've sent me. So what am I? I'm at collector level 580 something.
Damn. I'm still in double digits.
No, 614 actually, higher than I expected. People at my work that've been playing since in the beta.
Oh yeah.
They're in collection level 2500 plus.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So been playing a lot of that, and at the level I'm in Card Series 3 now.
Does it tell you that somewhere?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, you have to look it up online.
Okay.
So where you went, you beat the Recruit Pass.
I did.
So you now have all Series 1 cards.
Okay.
You're done with Series 1. You're now in Series 2. So as your collection level goes up, you will now start unlocking Series 2 cards in a random order. Every player gets them in a random order. So you will continue to do that till collection level 286 or something, 274, somewhere in there. You have a bunch of cards there, and you'll get through them.
And then, if I don't get to the end of the season pass, level 50, so I will have missed out on cards, right?
No.
Oh,
nope.
Okay.
No, you'll miss out on some variants.
Oh,
but if you bought
okay.
if you bought the season pass, you immediately get the card for the season pass, which is Black Panther.
Yeah, I have that.
So yeah, just buying the season pass gets you the season pass card.
Oh, they are variants. You're right. All the other cards are variants.
Yeah, they're just variants.
Got it. That's smart.
Yeah. So super easy. Just it's generally pretty nice on the monetization there. And it sounds like originally they were gonna do season cards, the season pass cards would show up in Series 3 2 or 3 months later.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just going to be immediate.
Oh, really?
So basically, when the season pass starts, you can buy in immediately and get that card. If you don't buy into the season pass, the month will end and then the card will be added to Series 3. So if you have all of Series 3, if you're one of those people that's very, very high collection level, you'll probably just get it on your next card you unlock. If you don't, it will just be in the random pool as you're getting new cards
right
at that point. So it's not horrible if you don't want to pay money, but I also feel like I'm playing enough that I usually just feel like giving him $10 is fine.
Yeah.
So it's fairly generous on how the cards are coming in, and it's actually been interesting to watch the the company that makes it, adjust their monetization even to like how players are feeling about it. Supposedly during beta, it had a pretty like more loot boxy way of getting cards.
Oh.
And people were unhappy, and they're like, all right, scrapping all of that.
Yep.
And put in this system, which everyone likes a lot more. But it's nice that they're willing to do that, because I was looking at some math that someone calculated online that said, like, let's say you're a completely new player, just started. If you wanted to unlock all the cards as fast as possible, which they calculate would be about just under 2 months to do it, and you're willing to spend money, you could spend just under $550, and you would unlock everything in the game. Key point being, you would be spending all that money, and you would still have to play a shit ton of the game, because you can't buy boosters to upgrade your card. Like, there's no...
Yeah, I was wondering what you would be spending money on.
Credits, so you can upgrade your cards.
And then that gets you up the...
collection rank.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Your collection level goes up. I mean, that's how you unlock everything, is collection level. So it's this like weird way. You have to buy credits, because you have to fuel your card
upgrade
cosmetics and upgrades
exactly.
via those credits.
Right.
But you also have to have boosters for each card. And the only way to get boosters is to play the game.
Yeah, and the boosters, like, I've gotten a ton of boosters. Is it, are all of them character specific, or are there some that are just general?
They're all character specific.
Oh, because I've been worried about spending.
No.
Like, no, because, okay, armor cards. Got it. Okay, so every booster is something specific.
Yeah. You can, those boosters work for a specific card name. You can spin the boosters on whichever variant you have, so you can level multiple variants using those same boosters, but they are like character specific.
Right, like my Squirrel Girl upgrade, like those 10 boosters are only for Squirrel Girl.
Yep.
Okay. Then
you get at the end of a game, you will get win or lose. You will get some. I think it's one booster per round of the game that you're in. So if you leave early, or the person leaves early, retreats, you'll get less. But if you go the full 6 rounds, you'll get 6 boosters to a random card in your deck that you're playing.
Okay.
So that also incentivizes you as you start going up in ranks, and things take more and more boosters to actually rank up the card cosmetically. Sometimes it's beneficial just to make a deck full of cards you haven't played with, because it's cheaper, and you'll get levels on those pretty quickly.
Because I've been avoiding upgrading because I don't want to waste my boosters on a card I don't use. But those boosters,
honestly,
can't be
at this point, it doesn't. Yeah, they can't be used anywhere else. And yes, I mean, play how you want. If what matters to you is you're like, man, I just want to like save my credits because I want to like only upgrade the cards that I'm really playing with, so that they're the fancy shiny ones. Or if you just want to unlock more things, just upgrade everything you can.
Oh my god,
all the time.
I have so many credits that I would just upgrade everything that I have at all times. That would make the most sense
I mean,
for me.
you'll get low on credits, and then you'll earn a bunch again, and it just ebbs and flows. But
I've been having a blast with it. The synergies of the new locations, like I forget which one it is, like maybe the Bifrost or whatever, but it shifts everything to the right. And like another one, one of the Black Panther areas where like it makes 4 copies of that character or whatever you put down there. God, there's so many cool interactions between the cards, and like I've won a couple where I've really played the locations and thought, a couple turns ahead and felt really smart, and then I got screwed one time because my opponent did the same thing. But it is so goddamn good.
It really is.
I got into the season pass, bought it immediately because this game deserves my money. But I'm just, it just reminds me of very early Overwatch, where it just felt like such a unique spin on a card game. And then this one has almost taken like a MOBA approach, where like you got the 3 lanes, but they're not really lanes at all. But like the location-based stuff, and then the simple abilities, man. And then every once in a while there's like a location that's just like, why? It has some sort of attribute, like, what was the one today that was like, Oh, cards that are played here are destroyed immediately.
Yep.
And I was like, that's fucking stupid. And then you start thinking about some of the abilities you have on your cards. You're like, okay, well, Wolverine can't be destroyed. It goes back to my deck.
Yep. Colossus
Colossus can't be destroyed.
destroyed. I was
Ironheart.
running.
Ironheart's
Yep.
good because then you get the effect anyway.
She does her ability, then goes away, and she's zero power
zero,
anyway.
exactly.
So,
Yep.
I was using a Jubilee deck, which is Jubilee is a
Is that an X-Men?
yeah, Jubilee is an X-Men, and it's a Series 2 card. But she is a 4/1. When you play her, she will play another random card from your deck onto the location.
Okay.
Couldn't be any. So my Jubilee deck is stacked with 5 and 6 cards.
Oh, yeah, right, exactly.
So you're just trying to pull random big cards
Yep.
onto the board. But it gets around Death's Domain. Jubilee comes out, puts a card there, but Jubilee gets killed, but the other card doesn't.
Because you didn't play that other card.
Yeah, because I'm just gambling, and they'll put a big card there,
Yeah, exactly.
something there, and sometimes it does, and it's awesome. The game has a lot of RNG, and actually, I have heard some people. That's the biggest complaint is some people like it's just too much RNG going on. To me, I'm like, games are short enough, and
Oh yeah.
quick enough, and if you think of it as this is just like a hand of poker, whatever, they can be RNG.
Yep.
Like it's not any one specific game that you're playing is important. It's the series of 15 games you play in your little time. And how does that feel? And yeah, sometimes the locations totally screw you, and that happens, and you can retreat if you care.
Yeah.
Or you can just play it out.
Just
whatever.
play it out. I mean, I don't think I've ever retreated.
It only matters if you're trying to go up in rank with the cube.
Oh yeah.
That's the and rank only matters if you really do care about like earning rank rewards, which change each season. So they're not. You earn some marginal amount of credits, some boosters, an avatar. At the highest, if you could get up to 100, you can get a card back as like a prestige thing. But the great thing about this game, if you don't care about it, it doesn't matter. Like none of it is like, if I'm not ranked up, then I lose out on these important things or I don't get cards. It's like, no, you always get cards, and if that's what you care about, you get your cards.
That's kind of what I was gonna say. Is like it doesn't matter. Because it's so much fun. Like if I don't gain, I don't know, whatever, internet clout points or whatever, fucking fake shit. Like I had so much fun playing it. Like it is like the way that the cards work together and just like it's mentally engaging in a way that like is pretty awesome. I've really enjoyed playing this game.
I do too.
How far are you on the season pass? Are you like into the season cash?
No.
Oh, okay, you're good.
No, I'm. We're just checking today. I'm at 45.
Okay. So you'll get to
and I have one more week of I've completed every chapter so far. So 22 hours. So tomorrow night at 7 3 more. Chapter 4 will unlock with 3 missions for it.
Okay.
And then I'll work on those through as the week goes on. Because that's usually how I just do it. I just work on missions more than anything.
Right.
I let my missions fill up. Like I have one last thing that I have to play. I'm at 5 of 6 of play 3 cost cards. So I just need to probably play 1 or 2 more games tonight, and I'll be done with that. And then I'll be done, and I'll probably won't play again until tomorrow night.
Yeah. I haven't played it all today, so any of the missions from today I haven't done.
Yeah. So you can store 6, and you just kind of cruise through them.
But if I don't do them in the next, was it 6 hours? I guess 2 missions refill. Oh, it says 2 missions.
No, they just stay there until you complete them, but you can only have 6 total missions.
Got it. Okay,
so
cool.
I try to clear it out and then let it fill back up to 6, then clear it out.
Got it.
Because one of the best ways to get credits and everything and gold is just to finish the weekly challenge, which is do 25 missions in a week in the end. And if you clear out your missions every day, you'll more than make it. And if you want more missions, spend gold on it, have them generate more missions for you. Once you've cleared it out. I did that when I first started playing, so I could just grind through more missions and get more boosters credits. But
Well,
I don't know.
I just don't play mobile games,
Yeah.
And this this is the mobile game that I play, and I've been playing it for a while now, and it's really fun to just um the short matches, man. Like I will just
Yeah.
pop in for like 2 games when I have a chance in the past 3 days, and then when my kid's asleep at night, last night I played probably for like an hour straight.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was
I guess
really
I
good.
did too. When I first got in, I was just having a blast, just playing a ton. So it makes sense.
Yep.
There's sometimes you can just binge on it and just be like, all right,
Yeah.
let's just play a lot of games and see what happens.
I was a good boy and got my work done yesterday during her nap time so that I could play at night. And now, yeah, I'll be exercising that COVID leave. Let's take care of a family member because
There you
work
go.
starts tomorrow, but I will be out taking
Yeah,
care
no,
of
that
my
makes sense.
wife. So Marvel Snap is awesome. Pentiment, dude, holy fuck.
Good.
Fucking great. I played it today during my kid's nap time, and it's just so engrossing. It's like I told you about the, I don't know, Telltale style, like that will be remembered when you make a choice or whatever. But it pays off like at different times. Like there'll be a series of decisions you've made that will pay off 20 minutes later when it's like you're trying to do something and it shows you all the decisions you've made, and it adds like positive points or negative, it takes away points to whether or not you'll pass. So like it'll show the thing like you had this interaction with this person, and then it'll show like 3 red X's or whatever, and that means that this ain't gonna fucking help you succeed. But if you did something good or something that they liked or whatever, then it'll show like green check marks, and then the kind of the balance is whether you succeed or fail. And I failed miserably at a check today that I didn't even know I was building up toward. And then the character just looked at me. I hope I took a screenshot which said, "Eat shit." And I was like, okay, I guess I did not succeed at that. But there's so much nerdy word shit happening. Like someone was talking about being decimated, and my character, because he's someone who went to university, that's my background, was able to tell the character, "Do you mean annihilated? Because decimated means killing 1 in every 10 people." And I was like, wow, that's such a fucking annoying thing to say. I'm going to say it.
God, that's so good.
It's really good.
I had never known that, but I'm like, I look at the word. Of course, it's every 1 in 10.
Yeah, exactly. And then you do it, and the guy rolls his eyes, and then the next thing you can say is, "It's because it starts with desa." And it's like, that's already obvious. And I said it. I was like, oh man, I'm so fucking annoying. Oh my god, it's so.
Oh god, that's so good.
The writing, there's been several things like that so far. And then there was some, like Josh Sawyer must also be a linguist or interested in linguistics, because there was a part where a character said that it galls me that this person wants me to do whatever. And then you're able to click, every once in a while it'll underline like proper nouns and give you more information about like the diet of worms or Rome or whatever. This one underlined galls, and I was like, why is it underlining a verb? And then you click on it, and it explains the etymology of the word gall, which was like wasps who lay their eggs underneath of the bark of an oak tree, and then they would cut off the gall from the tree and like basically boil it down to ink they would use in the scriptorium. And I was just like, what the fuck? This is all, I'm sure this is, if I looked it up, I'm sure that would be where that word comes from, but I had never thought about where it came from. So there's like a bunch of nerdy shit, like a really nerdy word stuff and nerdy history stuff, but the characters are talking in a very like engaging, like some people are like puffy, churchy kind of people, but other people are just like, yeah, like the guy who's like, eat shit, or some other just, basically gutter language. And then the intrigue around this this is very early game spoilers, but like this nobleman comes in and is to this church who he has commissioned to do the portfolio, the copying a illuminated book. So he's doing the script and the artwork or whatever, your main character. And he comes in to check on it, and as he's coming in, he's talking to them about Martin Luther and the 91 theses or 95 theses that were hammered to the door, and talking about the problems of Catholicism, and it's just digging into that history, and it's just like in a very engaging, interesting way that I was a European history minor, so it's just like I know all this shit, and I'm just so excited to like be exploring a game where someone cares about this shit, and just the inhabiting a character in a space where like basically the schism was about to happen, where the church is just Catholic, Protestant, like this whole thing is happening. And it's a big fucking deal. And it's just like, it's happening in front of me, and I'm involved in it. And there's going to be like a murder mystery. It's a murder mystery. And I'm pretty sure I know who's going to be killed. And like, they're setting up like all these conflicts. I'm like, okay, that person's probably going to die. And these all people are going to be blamed. And they said, canonically, Josh Sawyer said, we don't tell you who the murderer was. You choose. And it's just.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's like a choose your own adventure where you don't know if you were right or wrong in the end. And it kind of is freeing because like as I'm making bad decisions along the way, or like that will be remembered in a pretty negative way, obviously. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still going to get to an ending, and I could replay this and get to a very different ending.
That's cool.
Where I'm trying not to fuck a nun. I chose hedonism as one of my pastimes, and it's very hard to play that way because I don't really want to fuck a nun. But if it gives me the dialogue options to go in that direction,
you might need to.
Oh my gosh, one woman was like, "You can sample my rye bread anytime you want." I was like, "Oh my god, this game is fucking rad."
Clearly, I need to play this. Holy crap! Because it sounds amazing. Fuck. I'm still just back to the point of the stupid thing saying, well, you think you mean annihilate.
Oh my god. Yeah,
That's so good.
Yeah, I think you mean annihilated because decimated is 1 in every 10. I was just like, what an asshole. I'm definitely going to say that.
It's so good.
It is too. So the game, just that is an example of the writing in this game. It's all over the place, and it's so fucking good. But you have to be in. You're just reading. You're reading.
Sure.
Constantly reading. And there's the way that they have there's like 5 layers of text, and what I mean by that is 5 different fonts, and each font represents a different kind of person. Like the easiest to read font is like just the gutter person, like the peasant, and the hardest to read font is like the the father of the church or whatever. But you can make a easy reading mode where you can read the fonts easier. Like it makes changes, but you can actually fucking read it. But sure. I chose not to do that, so I'm just like squinting, like, what the fuck does that say? For some people, and the way that the text appears on screen, kind of like a a visual novel or whatever, where I don't know, the letters come up, and then you can hit A to like make them go faster,
Yeah.
But as they come up, and I think this is such an interesting thing because it makes that part of visual novels that I hate, where like I read way faster than your text is coming up, so I just like I'm blitzing through it. But it comes up with typos, and then the typos get erased and they get re-scripted in, which is exactly what your character is doing in their job, erasing and redoing. And it's just like just a simple little touch that just makes reading the dialogue even more engaging. So I'm like looking for the typos and trying to find them before they
erase them and fix them.
Yeah, exactly. Man, it's like, boy, I cannot speak highly so far. I'm like 3 hours in. I think it's a 15-hour game. I have not been playing God of War. I've been playing Pentiment, just because the writing, the story is so good so far. So there you go, Pentiment.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What else have you been playing?
The only other thing I've been playing is Darktide.
Oh yeah, how's that been going?
I'm having a great time with it. The pre-order beta continues, and it basically every few days they've been adding in things to the game, like that are meant to be there at full release. So it's just kind of like the slow roll to test everything. At the beginning, I was like, wow, progression feels a little slow. Well, clearly it kind of felt a little slow because not everything was turned on in the game. So now, like, crafting is available now, so that actually changes things. There's more weapons available now. There's more missions and mission types and areas available now. So that's feels a little bit alleviated. It's like, oh, if you're playing a new character on launch day, you will probably feel like there's a decent amount you're getting as you're leveling up your character. But other than that, I'm having a blast. Still a little buggy. I get a couple crashes every once in a while. Mostly when just joining games, it will just crash. Because it has a reconnect feature or mid mission join, which is great. So even if you do crash, you can reconnect. So that's been nice. Graphically, it's really pretty. It's 40K, so it's super grimdark and everything, but it's very pretty grimdark.
Oh my gosh, when you were like graphically it looks good and you said 40K, I was like, holy shit, we're at 40K?
40K, yeah.
God
40K.
damn.
Trying to think of other cool stuff with it. I'm still playing the same character. There's 4 different classes you can level up, and I assume at some point people would do different ones because they have access to different weapons and perks and everything. But I'm getting into the combat. It is Left 4 Dead. Lots of things swarming you, but then there's specialists in there, and the sound design is really good. Every time a specialist spawns, they have a unique sound. So cool. A flamethrower person, you hear the clicking of the flame flower starting, like the ignition switch. You get the click, click, click. Yeah. And it's loud enough. And the mixing is done well enough, so you always hear that stuff over other things. And you're like, oh shit, where is it? Because man, flamethrowers suck. But there's that, and there's like,
you like hear that shit in your dreams.
Yeah, kind of. That click, click, click. So all like the sound design is actually really good. The music is fantastic, and then just general sound design and mixing is really well done. Better than I think the Fat Shark, the company that made it's done in any of their other games. Mm-hmm. So that's been good. I mean, I've put a fair amount of hours into this beta. What am I at now? I'm at 26 hours, under, in the beta.
And the beta goes till the end of the month, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, so
like release is Friday, I think.
Or... no, Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay.
So the pre-order beta goes until end of day, 2 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. Then they're bringing servers down for launch on the 30th.
Okay.
Or maybe launch later that night. I don't know specific. But they're taking the servers down for a chunk of time to prep for, hey, we're releasing everything now. And as far as I know, based on their roadmap, there are still things that they haven't released to the beta. Like there's at least a couple mission types and a zone that no one's seen yet publicly. So there's a bunch of new stuff, even if you've been playing in the beta.
Right,
but it's been super easy.
Yeah, they're holding stuff back. Yeah.
Yep, and this week they introduced more things this week. And then there'll be even more when it releases on the 30th. It's super easy to find people to play with. They have just a quick play. If you want to, you can form up with people you know as well. But I've just been doing solo queue, just jumping into a quick deploy. Select difficulty, say, put me in a place. And just going through it. I've lost a couple, but for the most part, all the players have been pretty good. So, I don't know. It's been great. I think it's probably one of the best things that Fat Shark has done for sure, and I think it scratches that itch for that Left 4 Dead style game that I don't think Back 4 Blood really did it for people.
Yeah, I was gonna say that this is the year where Back 4 Blood came out, and it didn't seem to pop.
No. Which is from the people that made Left 4 Dead. Like
exactly.
it's
Turtle Rock. Yeah.
Turtle Rock who did it, but it just didn't stick at all.
Yeah.
And I didn't play it. And I'm not sure why. I don't know if it didn't try to deviate too much. Maybe that's one of the things where it's like, okay, we've done the zombie thing a couple times now. Is this... I mean, with them, it's always going to be compared to, is this better than Left 4 Dead?
Right.
And I don't think anyone has said this is better than Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
I think they said it's on par, but that's maybe not enough. Darktide at least is like, I would say it's on par with Left 4 Dead in a lot of ways, but it's very different thematically. Looks very different, sounds very different. It's so there's at least novelty to what's going on. And characters generally are more interesting. They have abilities, the weapons have abilities and perks, and like it's an RPG. Darktide is very much an RPG. So I don't know. But yeah, actually, Back 4 Blood was last year's 2021.
It was Are you fucking kidding me?
October 12th, 2021. Actually, exactly a year ago.
What the fuck? I thought it was this summer.
Nope.
Holy shit, wow. Nope. Time is weird.
It looks like Back 4 Blood has done decently well, though. They said as of February 2022, they had 10 million players. 10 million people have played the game.
Oh, did it hit Game Pass? Maybe not.
I don't know. Development. I'm looking on a release if it talks about it. I don't know. It could have been on Game Pass. The game, the second phase in January. I don't see anything about it on Game Pass, but at least not on Wikipedia. They don't talk about it. And a lot of times they...
Yeah. I'm probably just misremembering, to be honest. Maybe it was the Humble Bundle. It was on Humble Bundle, maybe. Maybe that's...
Yeah, it looks like you have to... It's not on Game Pass. You can buy it.
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, it was. It came to Xbox Game Pass day one. Never mind. There it is.
Okay.
That explains why a lot of people played it, I will say.
Yes, exactly. That's right. I think so too. My rickety memory is still working.
And again, coming to Game Pass, hopefully Turtle Rock negotiated with Microsoft so that no matter how it actually did on sales wise, they came out ahead.
Exactly. Right.
That would be the hope.
I hope the same thing for the Vampire Survivors devs, because I know it came to Game Pass, and boy, I was listening to a podcast. I know I'm switching gears here, where they're just lamenting the fact that for the Game Awards, the Keighley thing, that Vampire Survivors was not in the Game of the Year category. They're like, it is way better than Stray. Like,
that's what I've heard a lot of. Like, Stray looks really good. What I've seen of it, I'm like, I don't know why this would be in Game of the Year.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. Like, it doesn't seem like it's incredibly innovative for...
It's not. It just
the
has
type of game.
cat.
It's a solid adventure walking sim, but you're a cat.
Yep.
But it doesn't seem like it's really pushing that genre super far forward.
No.
Yeah, I totally understand. I would probably put Vampire Survivors there. Vampire Survivors could win, and then you'd have the ultimate internet outrage. I guarantee it.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
It would be amazing. I would just be eating the popcorn on that one, just being like, all right, let's do this.
There's so many things going against it, right? Like $3 game, you look at it, it doesn't look like there's much going on, but then as you play more and more of it, you're like, there's a ton of depth to this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up because you had mentioned.
Yeah. I did. They had a post-release update this past weekend. Version 1.1, tiny update. That's what they called it. Awesome. The tiny bridge stage was unlocked. So another stage, because of course they're still adding content to this thing.
Right. Maybe I'll update it. 3.9 megabytes. MBs, big MBs, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
Disco Elysium has an update too. Zaum stuff has been crazy in the news lately. But anyway, something else that I've been playing. My daughter and I are playing games because, just hanging in the house a lot. So, she wanted to play Wind Waker, so we load up the Wii U, and she looks at the screen and she's like, "Wait a second, let's play Yoshi's Woolly World. We haven't played much of that." So we loaded it up, and we're currently halfway through right now. There's 6 worlds, and we've beaten 3, and it is in every category. It is better than Yoshi's Crafted World. It is the better game of the two, and it's not even close. And I'm just like, holy shit! There's a Wii U game that I've owned since 2015, haven't played very much of. For some reason, I didn't play a lot of it, and now I'm playing a ton of it with my daughter, and it has a better soundtrack. It looks better. Um, it has more interesting customization of your Yoshi. It has like more interesting things that are hidden in the world. The level design is better. It's more creative. The fucking soundtrack is really good. And I'm just like, what the fuck? We've played Yoshi's Crafted World like 3 times all the way through, and it's fun. I like it a lot. But Yoshi's Woolly World is so fucking good. It's honestly, it's blowing my mind right now. Like, I'm so glad I have the Wii U hooked up still, because like, what other hidden gems are on this fucking buried on the Wii U that are not on the Switch yet? Like, Yoshi's Woolly World's not on the Switch. And it should be. Holy shit.
Okay.
And my daughter is just loving it. And I had to go cook dinner tonight. It's just me and her. And I was like, well, you got to do something while I cook. She's like, we were playing a different game, which I'll talk about in a second. And she's like, I won't play that game. I'll play Yoshi's Woolly World. And then she just played it by herself. And she's like beating a whole level by herself, which is mind blowing.
Okay.
And then she was starting off by putting the rest of our amiibo in there because it unlocks costumes for, you can dress your yarn Yoshi in like Captain Falcon yarn or, whatever. But she tried the Yoshi amiibo and it's like, this is a Yoshi game. If you dress like Yoshi, you're just Yoshi. She's like, let me try it. She put it on there, and it unlocked a totally different Yoshi. And I was like, holy shit. And it said, if you start a level and use this amiibo in the level, you will unlock this Yoshi in the game, and he will run along with you. I was like, oh, okay. And I expected that I have to do that. Nope. She exited the menu, went into a level. When she got in, she put the amiibo on the part of the controller where the amiibo locks in, and then the regular Yoshi popped in, and she started playing with both Yoshis at the same time. And I was just like, oh my god, my kid is playing games by herself now.
Yep.
So it's like we're off to the races now. So it's been awesome. And then the other thing we played, I don't know where she saw like something Pokemon related. She saw like a Pokeball somewhere, and she was like, Dad, can we play that Pokemon game where our main character is a girl? And I was like, Pokemon Legends Arceus? And she's like, yeah, that. So we loaded up, and she was having a blast. And we were, just filling out it was like the opening area where you have to we only played like an hour last time, so we finished up the whole thing where you're like supposed to like find 6 Pokemon and like learn about them and bring back your research notes and you become, I don't know, something. But as we were playing, I was like starting to really realize, oh, I really get why this is like kids' first RPG. It's like very slow, turn-based battles, like a lot of very, I don't know, story-heavy, like in a kiddie's, I don't know, like engaging for a kid sort of way. But we played for like an hour and a half, and I was like, oh, I'm starting to like this. Like when she went to bed, I wanted to go finish the tasks that we didn't finish together because she wanted to rush up to the next thing, and I was like, oh my god, do I want to play Pokemon? What is happening? Like, no, stick to Pentiment. No, stick to Marble Snap. But it's kind of been fun playing these older games. I mean, Arceus came out this year, I think, in January.
It did.
Yeah. But it's like, I know Violet and Scarlet or whatever are in the news of being shitty tech-wise, but great otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, the people that I know at work who picked them up, they complained, yep, it is a Game Freak game, and it's really crappy performance-wise and not best optimized for the Switch, especially in a year where you're like, well, I've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which has way more happening on the screen and looks way better, but not all companies are Monolith Soft, so...
Yeah, exactly.
But they're still having just a blast with, like, the mechanics of it. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Really, after now trying a number of them. Like, I get why people like them, though. Totally. Like,
dude,
just miss the train on it, and it doesn't have the same nostalgia hit for me that other people clearly have for it. Every new version. They're like, yep, we're here. My kids want to play it, though. So,
yeah.
We'll see if that happens for Christmas or not.
Well, that's obviously I don't have the nostalgia for it either. I never played it. This is the first time this session where I saw in my daughter, oh, you are gonna like Pokemon, because so many different Pokemon, they're so cute and all these different Started learning the names.
Yep.
Oshamat was one of those. I forget. Anyway, she's like, I want to have Oshamat. I like their what's the fuck Hydra whatever attack. She was just like so interested in how many different kinds there were, and she wanted to like see if there were any more to collect. And I was like,
Yep.
oh my god, you're the tag for collect them all. You gotta collect them all. You're it.
Yep.
Here we go. Like this whole, obviously we're locked down because of COVID, and that sucks. But because we're locked down, we're playing a bunch of board games, doing a bunch of art, but also playing more video games than normal. And she's just like, oh my god, this is all
Well,
amazing.
guess what? You could play Pokemon card game with her.
Oh my god, that's right.
But here you go. Kids' first trading card game.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
We'll watch some Twitch streams first. Watch them open these packs.
Oh no. Yeah. Pokemon is brilliant and insidious in that way.
Yes,
it's like,
exactly.
oh, if you don't want to play video games, look at all these other ways you can engage with this property.
Anime, there are manga, there are all this shit.
It's a card game. Oh no.
Yep.
That's cool
Plushies. No, she really enjoyed it, and she needed to switch when I went to cook because there was a bunch of reading, and she's like, I'll just skip the reading. I was like, okay, because she can't read yet. And then she's like, no, I'm gonna miss the story. I'll wait till you're here with me. Let's do Yoshi. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I did a fuck ton of reading today because we played Pokemon for a while, and there's a lot to read. And then Pentiment, I read a bunch when I was playing Pentiment. So no, it's a good game weekend.
It sounds like it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Really cool. Really relaxed.
Yeah, I would just love to say I played more, did more, but mostly we had Thanksgiving. I've been off the day after and stuff, and it's mostly been chores for at least chunks of the day.
Yeah.
Just honestly cleaning a bunch of crap up that was still left over from my house flooring remodel. That's in like stuff that's been still sitting in my office, and like, okay, I need to finish boxing all this stuff up and like putting out into either storage or finding a place for it so I can get my office cleared up, because next weekend we'll get our Christmas tree, but then I have the nerd tree to put up in my office, and I need stuff cleared out to put up the nerd tree.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a lot of little things like that, just getting stuff taken care of. But most of my evenings have been some Snap and then Darktide, or Snap when I have a few minutes in the middle of the day.
I thought you were about to say some Snap when you were queuing for another match.
That's true too. I probably do. Although queues are very fast. I don't
okay.
think I could actually get a game in. But I can get a game in when I'm sitting on the toilet.
Perfect. Yes, exactly. Right. Yep. It's perfect. Oh man, just the time. Like, there's every once in a while there's a game that like has something about it that's like, that's one reason why this is so popular. And I think Snap, obviously the IP is probably number one, but how quick the matches are. Like, you can just get one in. Like, I can get one in. It's not a huge engagement.
No.
But then I just play fucking for an hour. I'm like, well, I could have played something for an hour. Okay.
They're quick, but they don't. But they, as you said, they mentally still have some meat to them.
They do.
Even
they
while
do.
they're quick.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just like, oh, stuff's randomly happening. I have no control over it, so what does it matter? I'm just tossing things out and click through. I'm like, no, usually I have to actually, by the end of the game, turns 4, 5, and 6, I have to be thinking pretty good about what I'm doing.
Yep.
Or you will lose. So, I don't know. Like, I'm sure by next week I will continue to be playing it. I don't see why I wouldn't. Like, probably play some more Darktide. I don't think there's anything out. A couple weeks there's I'll probably play the FF7 Crisis Core.
Oh yeah, Crisis Core coming out. Yep.
I think that's the 13th, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's cool that your daughter's finding enjoyment in Pokemon. It's the brand is doing what it's meant to do.
Yeah, exactly. No,
you're like, it's designed for this.
It was the way that she was saying stuff. Like, I know she's never heard this stuff. I know that she doesn't really know Pokemon very well, but like the concept of collecting them all, she wanted to do. Because
Yeah.
it introduced like 7 different kinds, and they were all different and all cute, and they all did different things. She's like, what else do the other things do? Let's collect more of them. Aha, I see. It worked. Okay. And I started to enjoy it. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck is
Yeah.
happening? This is actually pretty fun. And I know Arceus was, I think it was okay received. I don't think it like blew the doors off anything, but I'm just like, this is great. Like this kind of seems like an open world Pokemon. I know it's not really. It's like open zone or whatever, but
Yeah. But yeah, no, it is. I mean, I see how it can get involved with it. I mean, I did with Sun and Moon. That was the one I tried, and I got through most of that game, kids or not. And I was like, I have to put it down because I do want to collect everything. You want to fill out your Pokedex? Why not? Got to collect them.
yep, gotta collect them all. Yeah, my daughter
Yeah.
knows the word Pokedex now. She's like, is that the Pokedex? Pokedex. And she started like playing Pokedex. I'm like, oh fuck, here we go.
How long until she's gonna make her own Pokedex?
Oh my
'Cause
gosh.
I feel like that's something that she will draw or make with paper.
Well, I mean, that's something that like, to get her out of the house, I always think of like some sort of game you can play outside, and oftentimes it's a scavenger hunt of some kind. So it could be like, let's go outside and make a Pokedex of what animals we see. We can draw them, and she just like fucking throws herself down in the middle of where we are and draws things. So giving it a Pokedex theme, I think she'd be all over it.
Yeah, awesome. Ah, very cool.
Very cool.
I think I got nothing else.
Yep, I'm good. Thank you for helping me take my mind off of fucking crazy shit
No problem. Anytime.
this weekend. Hopefully I'll be back next week with a podcast. Who fucking knows? But if not, I guess when's the Game Awards? Not for 2 weeks, I guess. So
The 8th.
the 8th. Okay, so
Which
not this
I can't
weekend.
actually watch them live because my son has a choir concert that night, right in the middle of when Game Awards are going on.
Damn it, son.
Pretty much, I was like, oh, god damn it.
You're like looking at it on your phone.
No, I will not.
Yeah.
I'm there for his choir concert, and it's all the middle school
Yeah.
band and choir and everything. So I will be supportive of my child and his friends and his peers. So
Excellent. And watch it later. It'll be fine.
yeah, it'll be fine. I'll just make sure not to. Honestly, I don't even care if I'm spoiled. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I never watch these things as like, oh, I have to be surprised.
I've never watched it live. I always watch clips later.
Yeah.
Like I don't really care. But it'll
Yeah.
be easy this year to stay off of Twitter.
It's they're gonna, yeah, exactly.
Not gonna see spoilers there. Crazy. All right, well, episode I think 362 of Prof and Dev Play
Yeah.
Games. If you like us, please rate us on your podcast service of choice, and we will be back. We hopefully will be back next week. I hopefully will be back next week with another episode. And until then, yeah, find your mom's phone and subscribe to our podcast on it. All right.
Do it.
See you, folks.
Later, everyone.